Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thursday morning pre-market strategy and analysis session. Quick reminder, please subscribe to this channel because Romeo will be doing his live stream at 9:15 where he enters the trading day, tells you exactly what he's looking for. We'll enter into a few live trades and help make you money. So please pay attention, 9:15, he's going live. Let's go back to my yesterday prediction. In fact, let's go back another day to Tuesday. So we've got Tuesday, Wednesday. I expected the same thing that we saw on Tuesday to happen yesterday, Wednesday. And I said yesterday, Wednesday, expect the same market conditions for Thursday. So again, entering this week, I was expecting the market to give back, consolidate, go down, however you want to phrase it. I mentioned yesterday's live stream when the SPY was sitting at 399 that I expected to see 395 yesterday. And if we saw 395 yesterday, then possibly 393 was a possibility on the SPY. So we saw that. Next, we're talking about 393 where we closed yesterday at 391 and I mentioned 390 was next, and after 390 this is a key important level, okay? Everybody should pay attention to this level today, and then I'll explain why. 388.25 on the SPY. So let's just see where the SPY is sitting right this morning. Pre-market, 387.95. So we're under the support level. Understanding yesterday, as the market closed, there were a ton of calls being bought and a ton of puts being bought. So it's a mixed message. It wasn't telling you one way or the other the market's going to shoot up or shoot down. But again, starting off this week, I mentioned that like 72% of stocks were at their 200-day moving average. And once we get to 75 or 76%, the markets will go down. I also mentioned the SPY rejected 400 3 straight days, and it was likely to go down because 400 was a key rejection level. So what do I think is going to happen today? First, let's talk about it. After I stop talking about the SPY, I'm going to talk about a lotto play. I'm going to help you and myself figure out a lotto play. We'll talk about what happened in the market and what could potentially happen today and tomorrow. So I'm going to give you a trade that I'm looking at. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to actually do it live with you. We'll talk about how I process a potential lotto play, what I look for, the kinds of predictions you need to make, and then if you're right, what kind of returns you can get. Okay, so again, SPY sitting below 388.25. Understand, if 388.25 acts as rejection and we can't break past there when the market opens, then your next level down is 385, followed by 383, followed by 380, okay? If the SPY and the market decides it wants to be bought up on open and it holds the 388.25 level, then where are we going next? Well, we're probably going right back to where we closed yesterday to fill that gap. Again, so if you want to be bullish in the morning and say, okay, they're going to buy the dips, then you're looking to get in under 388.25, and you're looking to sell probably where we closed yesterday at 391.49. So those are the two examples of what can potentially happen. Bull case scenario, 388.25 plus or minus 20 cents. Axis support, we bounce back up to 391. We might see something like 393 and then trickle back down to 390. Let's talk about some trades real quick, and then we'll get into a lotto play. Trades for the week. I mentioned I thought Amazon was going down. What happened yesterday morning? Amazon, out of every single stock, was spiking. My $96 strike price Amazon puts, I believe, went as low as 40 cents. They closed yesterday around $1.50. I sold at $1.25. I had seller's remorse once I sold, but I had to secure profit. What other trade did I speak about? Remember Roblox, I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was the day before. Roblox was up 15% pre-market, sitting at around $38 or slightly there under. I mentioned I was going to fade Roblox. What did I do? Exit out of my trade yesterday. Where's Roblox this morning? I think it is in the $32 to $33 range. So here's my problem. I knew the market was going down, and yet I didn't want to hold any longer. I wanted to secure profit. I wish I'd held longer. I'm having seller's remorse, but it's nice to be correct on such a tough market day yesterday. So two scenarios as we're going to go into our lotto play for Friday. Two scenarios is, number one, the market gets bought up today. 388 acts as support. We make our way back to 393. Scenario two, and I'm basing this on the flows Um, 388, we bounce back to 390, and then from 390, we drop. So again, if I'm going to be bearish on the market, I'm not entering the market at open saying I'm buying puts and the market's going down. No, I'm looking for a specific entry point. And for me, that would be slightly over $390. So again, if I'm a bear and I think the market is going down and this will take us into our lotto play, then I'm looking for a little bit of a bounce at open and then rejection around the 390, 50 level or something like that, where I would then choose to enter into my put plays. Now, when I talk about a lotto play, I'm just going to throw maybe $200 at it. I'm going to look for a $5 entry, okay? Again, this is the strategy going into lottos. I see a lot of lottos Thursday morning, Thursday up until 10 a.m. They're $5. By the time Friday afternoon rolls around, those same lotto plays are like $1.20. So you're talking about a 24x return. So again, I'm only talking about $200. If I'm incorrect, I know that I'm going to lose that $200. If I'm correct, I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 200 into 2,000. So again, determining a lotto play. First thing I do is I say, what do I think the market's going to do today and tomorrow? Again, if I say bear case scenario, okay, we're going to bounce a little this morning. We're going to hit that 388. It's going to reject. We're going to see 385 and 383. Again, yesterday I thought we were going down. Did I think we'd see 390 yesterday or 391? No, that was pretty substantial. However, it followed the right momentum. And once we broke 395, then we're going to see 393. Then we're going to see 391. Again, 390 should have been a bounce point. We didn't get there yesterday, but this morning we're opening up below that level. So let's just see where the SPY is at right now. And then we'll open my phone and get into the lotto play. All right, SPY right now, 388.41. So obviously we had a quick bounce from that 387 level that I mentioned. Why? Because 388.25 is going to be serious support level where there's a nice demand in the dark pool. Yesterday's dark pool on the SPY was pretty significant. I think it was over $1 billion. Okay, so let's get into a lotto play and then I'll answer some questions. So when I get into a lotto play, the first thing I do is I look at my watch list and then I'm looking for some type of cheap options that I can get into for $5 or under. And then I think the stock will either appreciate by like 5, 6, 7% or drop by 5, 6, 7%. So I'm saying Goldman Sachs, too expensive. SPY options, too expensive. Amazon options, too expensive. Delta, too expensive. Then I get to Delta. So I'll be like, okay, Delta. Well, we had a number of inflow days followed by one outflow day yesterday, and yet the stock went up. So I could say to myself, if the market capitulates, then yes, Delta's going down. But if the market finds support at 388 and just bounces higher, whether it's this afternoon and tomorrow, Delta could be a call lotto. So I'll just write that down. I'll put bull case scenario, and then I have my bear plays as well. So bull case, I'm going to say Delta Airlines, so DAL, it's at $38.38. It rejected $40. So I would say, okay, I would look for it to drop. Let's just see where it is this morning. It's at $37.77. So if there's a drop at market open and say it goes down somewhere to like $37.50, I would say, okay, the $38 calls will probably be like $5 a contract. And then if we get a quick bounce, and we're back at, again, we closed yesterday at 38.38. So those same calls would be worth at least $40. So if we were at where we closed yesterday, so I say, okay, that's the potential. Again, if the market throws up on itself 2 days straight, nothing you could do. But if there is a bounce and airlines get bought up after yesterday's consolidation, then Delta $38 strikes. I might be able to get for $5, and I might be able to get a significant return. Again, if the market stabilizes today and ends up going up tomorrow, Delta could be pushing $39 again. Not saying that's going to happen, but again, you have to come up with the scenarios. So that's my first one. That will be my bull case. Again, I'm looking for bull and bearish case scenarios. So Apple, too expensive. Starbucks, too expensive. Walt Disney, too expensive. McDonald's. Microsoft was $240 yesterday. Remember, I was calling Microsoft $231. Right now it's $233 pre-market. So the fact that I thought I could go down to $231, it's too close to that range right now for me to take a chance on Microsoft. Again, bull case, I mean, you're looking at the chart right here. It could easily fill that little gap. or it could drop harder. I'm looking at the 1 month. We've only had 1 day of sell-off. If we have 2 days of sell-off, you can see Microsoft at possibly like 225. Again, it would have to drop another 4%. The markets would have to get ugly. So that's probably a bear case, maybe a play on the 230s, 230 strike puts. See how cheap I could get those. Again, I'm going to write down 2 or 3 scenarios for a bull case scenario and a bear case scenario, lotto play. Then I'm going to look at what the current prices are after we get off our live stream, and I'm going to say, okay, this one has the most likelihood of actually executing. All right, so we'll keep going. Boeing, I don't want to touch. It's more of a airline play. I'd rather actually get into the airlines rather than I would get Boeing. Lululemon, again, not too much volume there. Netflix is too expensive. Meta's too expensive. AMD. All right, so AMD is interesting. Here's what I see on AMD. Again, you had 8 straight inflow days, 1 outflow day. If we revisit this level down here, then AMD would be back in the $64 range. It would be off 10%. So you'd have to have it off. Let's just see where it is pre-market. Shoot, I just got rid of the page. All right, pre-market, we're at 1.66%. So again, AMD could easily be bought up, but I'm looking at both case scenarios. So we'll put AMD on both charts. AMD, we'll be looking at, we're $69 pre-market, so we're going to see what options are in play here. $72 would be the call side, lotto, and on the put side, we'd say something maybe like 66. Let me just go down. No, we could probably do $67 lotto, 67 AMD. So again, now I filled in two bull case scenario, 2 bear case scenario. I'm going to look for one more. Again, I'm looking for cheaper trades. So I'm going to actually go down a little further to more speculative plays. Now, when I say speculative plays, I'll mention like Plug, Palantir, TDoc, Pinterest, Affirm, Upstart, Roblox. What these are these are more spec plays that are tech related, smaller cap. But as you can see, Roblox yesterday, off 3% this morning, 6% pre-market. Upstart 4% yesterday, 3.5% pre-market. Affirm 3.5%. Again, when you're talking about a lotto, you're looking for a stock to move 6 or 7% one way or the other, and you're looking for it to do 2 consecutive days. So if your stock, let's just say Affirm is $12.98, massive inflow, but you say, okay, it was down below $10 for a number of days. The fact that it's opening up this morning around $12.40 tells me if you get an 8% drop off that could be a full dollar. So you could potentially go down to like $11.40, $11.50. So I'll say, okay, let's look at the puts on the $12 puts. Now they closed at $9. Again, they're going to open a little more expensive, probably too expensive for me to enter. But if you look back yesterday, these same Affirm $12 puts that are expiring this week were as low as $2. So maybe the lotto play should have been yesterday morning because those $2 puts are probably going to be worth north of 25 cents this morning. And if you go back to the 13th of January, these puts were in the 70 to 80 cent range. So if you're talking about $2 up to like $80, that makes for a strong play. If you're incorrect, yes, you buy 100 contracts, so you're going to lose $2 a contract. That's $200. If you're correct and you buy 100 contracts and you get $70 out of them, then you're talking about $7,000. I mean, you're talking about a massive return. So again, lotto plays are like, okay, I can live without this $180 or $200 I'm going to invest. But if I'm correct, I want to get 10, 12, 14, 30 times my money if I get them for $2. Again, it would have to be pretty special. The market was spiking yesterday up to $3.99. I'm sure that's when those lotto plays got entered. All right, so looking at Affirm, Upstart, let's just see. Roblox, I'm not going to touch. Palantir, I might touch TDoc, TDOC, and I might look at Palantir, PLTR. So now I've got the number of stocks on my list that I'm looking for lotto plays going into tomorrow. Again, bull case, bear case scenario. Got Delta Airlines, AMD. I've got bear case scenario. I have Microsoft down at the 230 puts potentially, AMD 67 puts, and then I've got a TDOC and a Palantir here. So I'm going to expand my list, and then I'm going to do process of elimination. Again, we will get off the live stream around 9 a.m. So I will have a list of 9 plays out, and then I go through the possible scenarios. Let's start with like Palantir. I say Palantir, if the market reverses and there was strong support on Palantir, then it'll rise over $7. So the fact that we're sitting at $6.80 pre-market, and we might even drop to like $6.66, that would be my entry. If I can call the bottom of that and we spike back up over $7, I'm talking about me getting my options for $2 or $3, having them potentially worth, $20 to $21. So again, you're talking about a 600 or 700% return. Again, that's just a scenario. You need to be correct. You need to get the proper entry, and then you need to be correct about your strategy. If you're not, again, it's a lotto. You're talking about $200. Vice versa. Anyway, so we'll skip that. Upstart, I'm just going to see if anything else really tickles my fancy here. I'm staying away from energy because, again, I thought energy should go down. Coinbase has made some major moves, but I don't follow that stock well enough to know my expectations on that. Again, NVIDIA is similar ballpark as AMD, but AMD options will be a little cheaper. Again, they're buying Chinese companies again. Alibaba, it's actually up pre-market. PDD up pre-market. I mean, understand, China's going to have a bigger problem than the U.S. when it comes to recession, their economy, their people. I mean, the winter flu season hasn't even started in China. Understand, the Chinese New Year happens and it starts in about a week, and they do a 3 to 4 week celebration where factories are closed, lots of families gather. So there's going to be like a super spreader event. We've heard the super spreader event. Well, it's not one event in China. It's all of China are going to become super spreaders. So that kind of scares me. Looking at Net or Cloudflare, could go under $40 in a bear market, meaning 2 more days of selling, could drop another 10%. If it flips around, you could see $46. So again, I'm going to write down Net as well because that has some substantial movement. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7%. Those people that are involved with Tesla, whether you're bullish Tesla or bearish Tesla, cheaper option to get in instead of Tesla will be something like NIO. NIO, N-I-O. It tends to follow Tesla's movement. So you'll see NIO had 8 straight inflow days. Tesla had similar 7 out of 8 inflow days. It went from 104 to 108 all the way up to like 130 and change. I think it's trading pre-market. Let's see where Tesla is. And it's, where are we at? 126. Okay, so you're talking about yesterday, the company at the high was 136, 126. You're talking about 8%. So you should see a similar move on NIO, and I think NIO was off 10% from its high yesterday. All right, so let's just see if we have any questions here. I see one right here. Okay, what do we got? Question. Yeah, I can't see it that well. Let me scroll up to see it better. Okay, question on options. When purchasing an option, whether it be a call or a put, and it goes towards the volume for that day, but does it also go to the open interest? I'm not really sure your question. It goes towards the volume for the day, but does it also go to the open interest? Yeah, I don't really understand. I mean, you're asking me, I guess, whatever platform you're using, whether it be moomoo or Robinhood, and it's telling you open interest. I guess you're asking me if the number is updated as it happens so that you could see the influx. The best way to find open interest on contracts is to use the flow sum feature. I guess I'll show you what I'm talking about. That way it makes more sense. So how do I understand volume and number of open interest and stuff like that? So I'm going to go to Discord. Let me see if I can just share it with everybody. And I'll explain how to use it. Okay, so here we go, Discord. So I want to see the open interest. Let's just say I want to look at AMD open interest. So I'll type out flow sum AMD, and hopefully this works. And yeah, there's not enough information there. So let's look at the net flow for AMD. Let's look at the big flow for AMD. Okay, so maybe AMD isn't a great example. Cost for puts is dropping a little. Cost for calls up here, and the stock price is down here. And now nothing goes straight down. So actually, if I was going to get on an AMD lotto play, I would say, okay, we're pretty far down there to start off. So maybe AMD drops a little open, then spikes back up. So yeah, AMD, the $72 calls, those might be my lotto play. Market open, get that nice drop. All right, can we look at MRO and TLT flow? Yeah, let's do it, man. Let me pull that up. And again, it's better if you do it at night after the market closes. The information updates. So MRO. So let's look at the flow sum. Let's just see if it's there. Yeah, I didn't think it would be. So let's look at TR, big flow, MRO. We'll see if we have enough information there. No. TR, net flow, MRO. And let's just see what comes in here. Okay. Again, there's not a huge lot. What you could see, or what I notice here, is the cost for puts is steadied. There's no change in the cost for puts, even though the stock is going down. Let me just see MRO. I think we're energy, right? Marathon oil. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I'm not a fan of energy right now. So before you look up different flows for whatever, if you're looking at Exxon or the XLE, you have to make a prediction or assumption. And me about energy, again, if we're heading into recession, China's going to have these issues. We're having war in Ukraine and Russia. Energy prices are skyrocketing. I would say, geez, I'm iffy on energy. When energy broke $90 the other day, I was like, man, I want to be a bear on energy, but I don't want to fight momentum. So I'll find a better play to use. And my better play the other day was what was it? Oh, right. It was Amazon. So yeah, so I mentioned Amazon puts. So here's what I did the other day. Now I caught the falling knife on Amazon. Let's just get rid of this screen right now and we'll talk about Amazon. Amazon was peaking out yesterday morning at like $99. Again, the other day, I'm in $96 puts. I'm telling people that I expect anywhere from $4 up for my puts. So I expect Amazon to be at $92 by the end of the week. And then you get some strong buying. The market is mixed. The market is selling off. Amazon was still green. Remember that? Amazon was $96.50. And I'm like, how is it still green? It should be dropping. Well, Amazon finally dropped, finally caught up. Again, I was just looking at the ride in Amazon. I saw the change in perception of the stock. I saw some outflow, even though it was spiking $2 higher. So again, I'm not going to lie. I was a day and a half early. Remember, my Amazon puts $1.50. The next morning, they opened up at 70 cents. I bought some more at 80. It went back to $1.25. I sold it. Yesterday, it did the same shit. So you don't have to carry it overnight, because yesterday morning, those same Amazon puts went as low as like $40, $44. Where did they close it yesterday? $1.50. So again, you want to follow the same trade over and over again. Once you call the bottom of whatever trade it was, and I was incorrect. I thought around $1.50 was the bottom. I thought we'd see $4 on the top side. Meanwhile, 70 cents was the bottom, rebounded back to $1.50. Then you got 40 cents, rebounded back to $1.50. So once you know what the rebound number is, being $1.50, you can get in anything cheaper than that. With that said, those Amazon puts, man, Amazon's at what, $94, a little under this morning. So those puts are going to open up at $2.32, something to that extent. So again, you're in at, let's just say you're in at 70 cents. You didn't even grab the low yesterday, or 80 cents. Now you're talking about $2.40. You're talking about a 200% return. So when you have a specific strategy, and again, my strategy looked like shit yesterday morning because the market was choppy at best and Amazon was shooting up to like $99. And I'm like, holy cow, that's the play that I picked. But again, you have strategy, you have patience, you don't let the market fool you. If I'm trading with emotion yesterday, I would have sold and took the L on that one big time. But I'm not. I'm like, what's going on in the market is ridiculous. This is more than likely a pump before the dump. I'm still expecting 395 on the SPY. And if we see 395, we can see 393. And again, we went all the way down to 391.50. All right, so let's see what other questions we have this morning, and then we'll go over the numbers real quick again. When I purchase an option. All right, let's get that question. When I purchase an option, does it go towards the open interest and the volume? Yes, it does. So let's say you're using Robinhood app, or moomoo is a good example. And we should have a link below if you want to use moomoo. I get free stocks, free money, basically. But here it is. You're buying, let's just say you're buying puts, and you're buying 100 contracts. Yes, the open interest will change. it'll tell you the daily volume of the day. If the daily volume was $400 options before you made that purchase, and you purchased 100 options, then it would be 500. Then it'll tell you the day's volume plus the open interest. You want to see the open interest increase to let you know that you're in a good or a solid or an agreeable position. If the volume is like substantial on an option, you're like 900 contracts traded this morning, but there are only 50 that are open, it means people were getting out or exiting that position. Most of the time, you want to follow the flow. Best way to follow the flow is use a Discord or use some type of flow map. Again, let's just look where Amazon is. So we'll type out TR. Let's look at Algo Flow and look at Amazon. Algo Flow tells you how the algorithms react to the stock price. So here we are on StreamYard, got it pulled up, perfect. So you can see the stock price peaking up here. Then the algos were telling you, okay, the stock price should be lower. Right now it's telling you kind of the same thing. So they're both in a similar area. Now, if one was up here, say at 99, and one was down here at 96, say the algorithm flipped back on red and it was back at 98.50, this would be called bullish divergence. Again, Amazon has a lot of demand. I would have got into Microsoft. I actually made a mistake a couple days ago. I was looking for Microsoft at 231. Again, I would have been early because Microsoft was 242 yesterday, and I still think it was going to 231. So let's just see what we got. Is there a no good flow on TLT? Okay, so let's see TLT. I don't think TLT is going to have enough of a flow to come up. So we can look at, let's look at the big flow. TLT, I don't think there's enough action there. Yeah, so TR, let's look at the algo flow. TLT, we should see something here. Okay, so here we go. There's a divergence here. So yeah, TLT, you can see the prices here. The algorithm's telling you it should be significantly lower. So that might be a decent one. Again, let's just check out TLT, which is the 20-year. Again, they're buying into it. Huge inflow yesterday. It's at a high, you can see right now. So again, that would kind of worry me. It's either going to break through and it's going to explode higher, or it's going to pull back where the algorithms tell you it should be. Again, just because the algorithms tell you one thing and it says TLT should be at a lower point, it sometimes takes 1, 2, 3, 4 days to get there. So let's say you say, okay, the algorithm is saying TLT should be a whole point or 1.5 points lower. I'm going to buy some puts. And then you see action like yesterday and TLT shoots up another $2.50. And you're talking about you want to buy puts. You entered your puts at 108.63. Now it's 110 or 111. And you're like, okay, my puts are down 42%. My time, I just lost a quick day. So yeah, I'd be extremely cautious there. I don't like to play with interest rates because what happens is there are certain announcements that will drive 2-year, 10-year, 20-year rates up or down. Conversely, same with the US dollar, it should be spiking. But, you know, I'm not a believer. And again, yesterday, the US dollar went down a whole 1% before it shot up 1% and filled that gap. Just a quick reminder, when I am done talking to you guys, please make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. But best is Romeo is going to do live trading at 9:15. He's going to come in. Welcome, everybody. He's going to bring up his charts and show you the candlesticks that he's looking at today. Generally, he looks at 4 different plays, maybe the Qs, the SPY, Apple, sometimes Tesla. Again, that is 9:15. So after we're done, take a break, go for a walk, grab a notepad to write this stuff down. If you're not writing this stuff down, it's going to overwhelm your mind. You're going to be like, wait, he was talking about puts or calls. He was mentioning 3 or 4 different stocks. I don't know where entry is. If you want to get it right, take notes the old way. Know what your strategy is, know where your entry is, know what your exit is, and know when you're going to secure profit. With that said, I went over some lotto plays earlier. I'm going to head over to Discord. I appreciate everybody joining me. Please join me tomorrow morning at 8:30. We'll see how it's playing out, and we'll talk about tomorrow heading into the weekend. See you guys soon.